Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the new season of Pixels and Paranoia. We are doing season 2 now, which is about video games. So, today's episode, we're going to be diving into the wonderful Western world of Red Dead Redemption 2. And maybe the first one. I'm not sure what we'll cover. But I think the big question is that I would like to know the answer to is what in the hell was Dutch's plan? He has a plan, you know. Would love to know what it is. What do you think it is?
Well, like I was saying, I think it's sort of, he's just full of shit. And he's just trying to tell people, hey, don't worry, I got it covered. Just let me be your leader, follow me. And really, he was probably just winging it half the time or telling
So,
people what they want to hear.
so you don't think he was actually planning to take the gang to, like, Tahiti or any of that shit?
I really don't know. I, maybe.
I mean, one of the biggest questions I think there is in the game is why didn't they try to go back to Blackwater for the money in the beginning? I understand the town was like on lockdown or whatever, but surely they could have found some way to do it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and the fact that they were able to go back at the end. For those of you who haven't played the game, you may not want to listen to this episode because there's going to be spoilers. That's how this is going to work. So, this is your warning. You don't want the game ruined for you. Don't listen. But the end of the game, they have the entire chest full of money from Blackwater. So, they went back for it. Now, the way that it's explained, I guess, is once the heat died down around the gang, once the gang kind of was dissolved at the end of the second one, I guess Dutch and Micah went back for the money, but I don't know. I find that kind of a flimsy theory, or like a very shoddy explanation for it. I mean, we got Trelawney, who was an on again, off again member of the gang. Surely he probably could have slipped in and gotten the money. He manages to slip in and out of places all the time. So why couldn't he just grab the money? I mean, surely there was other ways that could have been done. Some had also said, I saw some rumors that Dutch and Micah or somebody went back to Blackwater either in Chapter 5 or the beginning of Chapter 6 when they get back from Tahiti. Or not from Tahiti. From wherever that island was they were on. I forget the name of it. I want to say it's
Was it like,
Guam, but I don't know if that's
like,
right.
was it near Cuba or something?
I think it was. It was either Guam or something like that. But it's where they were like held as slaves, and they had to help the rebellion or whatever overthrow the leader of the sugar plantation there. I forget the name of the island, but supposedly they got the money around that time from Blackwater because it's rumored that they brought the money to them to Beaver Hollow, which was their last camp. But there's no real way of knowing. I have tried in one of my playthroughs, I've tried to go down into the cave in Beaver Hollow looking for the chest because supposedly you're supposed to be able to find it. It's supposed to be hidden under like a wagon down in there somewhere. But I was never able to find it, which I don't know if it's only there for like a specific time during that chapter or if it doesn't exist at all. I have no idea. But I always found it was very odd that the entire like motivation for the gang was to seek a better life somewhere where they're not wanted. But no matter where they went, they were causing violence. They were just getting into shit that they really had no business getting into. Which I guess that's kind of the whole thing about the game is that's the whole kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's always been interesting to me.
I mean, Blackwater being locked down was definitely also just a gameplay option to lock the area down till a certain point. Just
Well,
like the first game, John can't swim, so you can't get to Blackwater until the bridge is built, or you can't get to like Mexico until the game lets you and everything.
yeah, supposedly in Red Dead 2, if you try to go to I think it's New Austin, like the game just doesn't let you. I've heard that like there's a hidden sniper that like instantly kills you if you try to go to New Austin before the epilogue.
Yeah, there's like snipers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know why there would be snipers over there. That doesn't make any sense.
just some sort of gameplay mechanic to lock the area down.
Yeah, it's always been weird to me. I don't understand that. My guess is it might be because the game was already so big, they really couldn't render anything else in. So they had to try to keep the map size at least small enough, but that doesn't make sense because in the epilogue, the entire map opens up. So I really don't know.
It's possible, though, yeah.
It's one of those things. But I do know that this game is like highly rated, though. It's very well known for like the cutscenes are really well done. There are some weird aspects, like I love when you get to the chapter where you're going to Rhodes, and Dutch is like, okay, we're not using weapons in the town of Rhodes. There will be no violence in the town of Rhodes. We're not gonna cause any violence. We're not gonna shoot nobody. And then, like, 5 hours into it, you're shooting up the entire town. You're doing all the shit that you were told not to do. And then it's like, oh, well, moving on. Next town to desecrate. Although, the most iconic scene has got to be hands down when they go and they burn down the mansion.
Oh, yeah.
So that they can get back Jack. That's got to be like the most iconic mission in the game. Although
I think unfortunately,
what was that?
I was just gonna say, I think unfortunately some of the story was, kind of choked because it's, pre to.
Yeah, they had to write. They had to make a lot of retcon for like John specifically, because in the second game, John can't swim, which makes sense if you played the first game because John can't swim. So they had to write that into his character in the second game, which just felt ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure why they made it so John couldn't swim in the first. Wasn't it like a gameplay mechanic issue where they couldn't get the animation right or something? I thought
I
it was
think it
something
was
like that.
just to keep the players from accessing the other areas until they were ready.
Really? That's all it was? I thought it was
Yeah.
more of a limitation than like a gameplay mechanic thing. Huh. Damn. That sucks.
I mean, you could swim in like GTA 4 and stuff and San Andreas, but the like Vice City and stuff, yeah, you just die if you went in like the water.
Huh. Oh, the game itself is done using motion capture. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing something on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool for a game back then. Um, I read somewhere that it took around 8 years to develop the game, and the script for the game was over 2,000 pages, which is just ridiculous. There's a lot of other smaller, like, world and environment um, things about the game. Like, the map is huge. The game world takes up roughly 75 square miles and has, like, 4 or 5 different world biomes that are realistic. The game's got dynamic weather and its own ecosystem, so like the animals behave realistically. Uh, Rain affects roads. Um, so it's all kind of cool and appreciative additions to this game that like you really don't notice unless you've been playing it for hours.
Oh no, yeah, they definitely put a lot of detail and stuff in for sure.
The game won Game of the Year for storytelling and open world design too. That's kind of cool. I can't really play the first one nearly as much. I find the graphics and the controls to be very limiting.
Oh yeah, I bet playing it now it's tough. I played it through it like 3 times when it came out, like back in like 2010.
Yeah. I just can't really get into it anymore. Um, it doesn't help either that that game seems to still cost you like 30, $40.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous.
I don't get the whole cost thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why do games have to never go down in cost? It's just something about the new world of online only games where you don't get something physical in return for your money just means that you can't sell it for less money, which means these game companies and game developers can keep charging you what the game's worth new, even, 10 years after.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Luckily, I was able to get Red Dead 2 on the PlayStation for like $15, but that was only on sale. I don't know if that's normal.
Yeah, that's definitely a sale. I think it's still actually a full priced game right now.
That's just ridiculous.
They re-released number 1 on Nintendo Switch and PS4, but it was kind of lazily done. People were all excited thinking they were going to like touch it up, make it look a bit better or something. But they didn't do anything. They just ported the original over PS4 and Switch.
So they didn't even remaster it?
No.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they did nothing for it.
That's very interesting. Considering how Rockstar just redid GTA 5, they did like, I don't know if it was a remaster, but they re-released it recently.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah. So it's weird that they wouldn't remaster the original. Wow, yeah, that's weird.
Well, GTA 5 was definitely a cash cow for them. They kept making money off those shark cards and GTA Online stuff.
Oh, they still do, as far as I know.
Yeah, they still do.
I mean,
but yeah, I think it's crazy they re-released it like 3 times.
they've been supporting GTA Online since what? GTA 4 was the original for the online?
Yeah.
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 So,
that
and
was kind of weak.
And then you got things like Red Dead Online that like is dead essentially. I don't even. Well, no. They are still supporting it, I believe. I'm not actually sure. I thought they shut
But
down something.
Yeah, I think, or then maybe they gave it its last free DLC kind of thing or whatever. It's free update. What I'm disappointed in, a lot of people wanted, including myself, was an undead nightmare for Red Dead 2.
Now that was like the DLC for the online, right? Is that what that was?
They made some sort of thing kind of like that, but no, the first game had like this whole single player campaign storyline where it was all like it was like undead nightmare, yeah, zombies and stuff. There was like a zombie outbreak, and there was just little things you could do, like collect the 4 horses of the apocalypse, or hunt like the jackalope or whatever, or chupacabra. There was like a bunch of stuff to it. It was pretty cool, and a lot of people wanted them to make one for the second game, but they just never did. And then they recently came out with like some online mode where you fight zombies or something, but that's just not the same.
I didn't realize that was a single player campaign for the original. I was only aware of the online version. That sounds really cool, actually.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's like Bigfoot and stuff that you can hunt and stuff like that.
Yeah, I knew about that. I just didn't know that was a single player thing. I thought that was online only.
Oh no, yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought about kind of replaying it again. It's been a long time.
I wish that more companies, more game developers would focus on adding expansions, doing DLCs for their single player games. I mean, can you imagine how great Red Dead 2 could have been if they just kept releasing like enhancements to the game, like adding on to the storyline, adding like separate things to it?
Oh, I know. That would have been nice. Yeah.
I always wanted a storyline of the game where like you see the gang when they're like first born. I always
Like,
thought that would be kind of cool.
yeah, a lot of people keep rumoring that they're going to do like the next one's going to be a prequel to the second game.
I don't think so. If they make a third version of this game, I think it's going to be totally different. They've already written John's story as well as they could have. The entire games are left on Jack. So, I mean, if they were to do anything, I would say they go in the direction of Jack. They take his
Yeah.
character and they do something with that. The big issue is that the timeline, right? So you're no longer really about the Western because you're coming into the new modern age where the cowboys and the gangs and all that shit really doesn't exist in the capacity that it did for the second game. And you kind of see that with the original, right? I mean,
Yeah. The end of the first game, you start playing as Jack at the end.
yeah.
And it's 20. It's not 20. It's 1914 by then.
Yeah. So
it's like the war over.
yeah, I don't think that there's any version that could be made that would capitalize on the same kind of environment, because at that point it's just another GTA game.
I mean, from what I know, Jack becomes like an author anyways. He doesn't actually follow down the gunslinger lifestyle or anything after the events of 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently he becomes like an author.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
There's like some thing on it.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, if you search it, it might still say it, but apparently he like becomes like an author or something.
Huh.
So,
I
like,
always assumed
yeah, I mean,
because he got revenge for his father on one of those Pinkerton agents, or, well, I think on both of them. I don't remember. He got one of them. I always assumed that he kind of went down the same path because he looked almost identical to John. But that's an
from what I
interesting
know,
take.
they don't. Yeah, from what I know, they don't really do anything after that. That's just kind of the end of the whole
Yeah, there's no
story.
I don't think the first game has the ability to roam around the map like the second one does. I could be
You can
wrong.
roam around as like, yeah, you can roam around after you beat the game, and you can roam around as Jack. But I mean,
I don't think there's anything to
I
do,
did
though, is there? I mean,
I did like everything while I was playing as like John. So by the time I was playing as Jack, there was those couple missions you get for him, and then that was like it.
so if you don't do the missions as John, can you do them as Jack? Because I know in the second one, there's a lot of missions that are only for Arthur, and if you try to do them as Jack, you can't.
Yeah, I think it might lock you out of some missions, but collectibles or whatever, I think you can still get, or like things like the hunting challenges or whatever, little things like that. I think you can still
Oh, yeah.
do. There was rumors for a long time that they were going to. I doubted it, but I was kind of hopeful. There was rumors for a long time that they were going to do a remake of one, and they
Okay.
were going to use a lot of number two's assets to remake one.
So, not to interrupt you here, but I just found this because I was interested in what you said about Jack. So, you're right. The lore of Jack goes deeper than I thought it did. GTA is in the same world as Red Dead Redemption. Did you know that?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Are in the same like world, which I mean that makes sense, I guess. I
Yeah, I
didn't
guess
realize
that
that.
makes sense.
So this says Jack becomes a successful author and a respected rancher after the events of Red Dead Redemption, with a book titled Red Dead by Jay Marston appearing as an Easter egg on Franklin Clinton's shelf in GTA 5. The novel likely chronicles the story of his family and the Vanderlyn gang, drawing inspiration from Arthur Morgan's journal and his father's experience.
Oh,
I
huh.
did not know that. I'm not surprised given that they both share the whole UFO thing where like
Oh yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
UFO.
from
Yeah.
from what I know it's the same aliens too. So it makes sense. But I was just surprised when I read it. I was like, "Really? I can't I'll have to fire up GTA 5 and look at that now cuz that's interesting."
I just remember definitely, yeah, seeing something years ago where people were talking about Red Dead 3, but they were like, oh, well, Jack becomes an author, so it couldn't really be like him. And plus, like, the Wild West is dead by then because it's like 1914.
Right. Well,
It's
that
like
was
World
my
War One
thought was
went on.
I don't know how they would make a third game with Jack. I mean, it would just be
There's
GTA with like a western appeal.
there's that old Western game that they made before
Oh,
Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead
yeah,
Revolver,
yeah.
which is like I don't know if it's a prequel or if it's a loose prequel or it's its own thing from what I remember. And I think that's in like the 1850s or something.
Well, it's also considered not to be canon with the other two games, so
Yeah, and I guess
that's so interesting. Huh. I'm trying to do a little more research and see just how far the rabbit hole goes with these two games.
how far the rabbit hole goes.
I've always been fascinated by games being linked. It's just such an interesting concept to me that they would take the time to like make the games similar or like take place in the same universe.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't know that. It's kind of cool though. Yeah. I mean, yeah, another one would be kind of cool, but I don't know what the heck they would do. I mean, they could just do it obviously somewhere else. with different characters, of course.
So this wiki article for the GTA fandom says that the Red Dead games are not connected to any of the GTA games as far as their own parallel universes go. But if that book is real and exists in GTA and is in fact the same Jay Marston as Jack, then, I mean, it may not be considered canonical, but it might just be an Easter egg, if anything. That's very interesting. So I know you said
I
you
mean, he's
haven't really played much of the game, but
I haven't played like a ton of it.
the parts you have, do you have any parts that have been memorable, like the parts you've enjoyed? I know it's been a while. It could be the first or the second one. It doesn't have to be just the second one.
The beginning of the second one's definitely a bit long, but it's not bad. I mean, the beginning was kind of cool. I think it's weird though, going back when you were talking about the story. I think it kind of bugs me a little bit, but that they're all fixated on that money from Blackwater when one of the gameplay mechanics is you can earn tons of money and keep donating to the camp. So just like it's like, do we really need to go back and get all that money? Like, I can just keep donating tons of money and like we'll be fine.
Yeah, well, especially since you're the only one that really seems to fucking donate anything ever.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's ridiculous that they constantly harass you to make sure you donate, but no one else does. Or if they do, they donate like a couple cents or whatever.
Yeah, I remember there's like a logbook or something you can see.
Yeah, there's a ledger, and I think that Arthur keeps track of it in his own journal as well.
I forget. John can't read either, can he?
You know, I don't know because it
I'm pretty sure I
seems
remember.
like he can, but I don't know if they ever specifically say whether or not he can or can't.
I remember Jack reads all the time, and I think I remember John saying something about to him in the first game, but I can't remember enough.
I really don't know. I don't think
I
it
just hate
was mentioned enough to make it relevant to anyone really remembering.
I just hate how like Western movies kind of do you dirty a lot, or video games. I really, man, the ending of the first game pissed me off. Man, that pissed me off so much.
Being like when he just goes out there and just accepts the fact that he's gonna get machine gunned down.
Then you just get gunned. Yeah, you get gunned down. It's kind of like, what? After you did all that damn dirty work,
Well, it's
and then
because
you,
those stupid agents were just fucking power hungry. They just wanted all of the gang dead, which doesn't make sense because they let his family live and they were part of the gang. They also let like some of the other members like Pearson, they let him live. So I don't know if it was just they were just after like the notorious members,
Then, yeah.
but it's not like the internet existed. Why didn't he just fake his own death? Wouldn't that have worked back then?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't really understand why they didn't try that. I know that he had pretended to be Jim in the end of the first or the end of the second one. He tried to be someone named Jim Hilton, but I mean that's just a very bad attempt at a second name. Jim and
I
John, and I think that was kind of shoddy work, shoddy writing in my opinion.
Well, it kind of sucks too. I mean, I get from a gameplay perspective, your character is a badass, and even in some cutscenes, you're a badass. But then all of a sudden, at the end of the game, it's like, no, you're just gonna die here, and it's like it can't just be like an alternate thing where I actually managed to pull this off and survive, and
That's my
it's like
biggest
no,
complaint about the second one is you can't avoid getting tuberculosis. You have to get it. They don't th- there's no option to avoid it. And I get from like a story perspective, they did it so that they could finish the game, but I feel like there should be a hidden option there somewhere where like you can manage to cure yourself, but it takes like a lot of time, or I feel like they could have done something really cool with that and they just kind of missed it. I
yeah,
mean,
I agree because the thing is when the second game came out, everyone knew Arthur was gonna die because he's not in the first game. He's never mentioned nothing.
yeah.
So right from the start, everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna friggin' die." But it would have been nice if there was an alternative where maybe he just takes off at the end.
Yeah. I kind of would have liked the alternative where he gets tuberculosis and then he finds a way to cure himself. Even though I know historically that didn't exist. I understand that. Back then, getting tuberculosis, you were dying. But maybe you just didn't harass that person who was already dying. Maybe you just didn't beat the living shit out of him. I mean,
Yeah,
seems
what
pretty
if there
easy to
was?
me.
Yeah, I kind of hate how it's not really optional. And
Yeah.
like I know you're get it from a story perspective, but couldn't they have just kind of had like a plan B if a player decided
Yeah.
not to do that, and maybe you die at the end from some other means,
Right.
or yeah, he somehow you can survive and he just takes off at the end or something.
I would have liked him to get back together with that girl he was with, Mary Linton. I would have liked that. That would have been a nice alternative ending. A nice like high that should have been the high honor ending. Is he gets out and he gets with the girl that he wanted to be with. That should have been the high honor ending.
No, I agree. I really hate how they really force you, and even if you were high honor, it's still just really shitty.
Yeah,
Like
and there's no real incentive for being high honor. I mean, it's not like you get anything out of it, really.
yeah, you die peacefully instead of getting shot by Micah, which that fucking pisses me off. You don't even get revenge on Micah.
I
You
know,
have to
yeah.
get revenge as John later.
Which is interesting because John wasn't there for the fight on the cliff. So how does he even know what happened?
That's right. Yeah, he took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just assuming. Maybe he's just trying to put the pieces together of what might have happened, but I find it very suspicious that they just go after those two. But then again, I mean, they were the ones that were betraying everybody. So,
Man, they could have just let you, if you played as High Honor, they could have at least let you take down Micah as Arthur or something.
yeah,
That
like
pissed me.
maybe you could
So,
like reach for your gun as you're lying on the ground and you manage to fucking shoot him in the head or some shit. Yeah, something.
yeah, something. I would have liked. I mean, people are like, oh, High Honor, he gets to die peacefully. And it's like, dude, like, come on.
A death
Give
is
me
a death.
something.
It really doesn't matter how you die at that point.
Man, yeah, it's like, oh, you either just die when the sun rises or you just get shot before the sun rises. And it's like, oh, that's really it. Like, huh.
I also feel like the writing got kind of lazy in the later chapters because I think it was just rushed. They made Dutch out to be like this evil villain at the end, and I saw some things that said that he like bashed his head in Saint Denis on the trolley when it crashed, and he had like a severe head injury, and that's what like made him go further into like madness and shit. But
Yes, I could see that because it pissed me off that like apparently Arthur and John were with him for like a long time, but then like he would just never listen to Arthur about shit.
yeah, well, that, and he took the side of, Micah all the fucking time. And
That pissed me so much.
my thought and my theory behind that is that Dutch saw more of himself in Micah towards the end and knew that there was no way out for him other than what happened. Now, what's interesting is Dutch and Micah don't leave together. They leave separately at the end of the second game. But you find them together at the end of the second game, too. So that's just weird. So that shows me that either Dutch went to Micah to ask for help getting the money out of Blackwater, or Micah went to Dutch to try to get the money out of Blackwater, or they already had the money from fucking Blackwater. But if that was the case, why did they wait around so long?
Yeah, I feel like they did wait around too damn long throughout the game. Yeah.
They spent so long in these camps that were not all that well hidden. I mean,
All them doing hardly anything.
They
too.
were throwing loud ass parties. It's not like they were that far away from people, because there's a couple random encounters you can have when you leave the Horseshoe Overlook camp in chapter 2, where you'll be like cornered by the O'Driscolls right outside of the fucking camp. That always bothered me, because it's like, so they know where you're camped, but they don't ever attack you there. They always attack you outside of the camp, just far enough to where the other members won't be able to get involved. But they never attack the camp. And I kind of wish that they would have attacked the camp a couple times.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I agree.
I feel like they should have had like some you have to defend your camp kind of things.
Maybe they just didn't know how many people were there or what traps there were. Maybe they just kept enough distance, but still, I feel like, yeah, it's kind of weak. I agree.
That never stopped the Raiders in Fallout 4 from taking over a settlement. So I think that's a weak ass reason for them not to include that, is they weren't tough
I
enough.
I don't even remember why the hell was Micah the rat again or something. I don't.
So supposedly the Pinkertons picked him up when they got back from Guam or wherever. They were able to catch him, and I guess he turned on the gang. It's never really said why, though. It's from what I know, they never really explain what his motivation was. I've heard rumors and theories that it was because he was never really in it for the gang. He was in it for himself, and he just wanted the money out of Blackwater and didn't care about the gang at all. That's why if you go back and you like play the game, you'll notice more and more that he will ask Dutch about the money in Blackwater a lot. He keeps asking, when are we going to go back for that money? We should really go back for that money. He says it a lot, which makes sense. So that's the theory.
I guess I could see that, yeah. I guess not all the criminals in a gang of criminals are going to exactly be selfless or helpful.
It's just weird to me that when Arthur finds out, he should have just fucking shot him.
Yeah, dude, I hate shit like that.
Miss Grimshaw had no issue blowing the abdomen open of Molly right there in front of everyone. So I just it's weird that he let them have time to draw their own weapons. Because it's been established that one of the rules of the gang is if you're a rat, you're killed. But they didn't follow that for Micah. And
yeah, and Dutch was just gay for him for some reason. Yeah.
That just always kind of bothered me because he had no issues with his supposed girlfriend being shot and killed in front of him for supposedly being a rat, which was revealed she was never even talked to. So she wasn't even remotely a rat. But when it came down to Arthur saying that it was Micah, he has nothing to worry about. He's like, nah, it's fine. I trust him. He can't be a rat. He's a good guy. He saved my life in that bar that one time. Oh, the other part that really pisses me off is when they're in that the Cornwallis or whatever the hell it's called, the refinery. That beam falls on Arthur and Dutch just kind of watches him and then just fucking walks away. It doesn't even fucking help him. That was before the reveal that Micah was a rat. So it looked like Dutch just kind of didn't give two shits about him anymore. That was also kind of shown when Dutch just wanted to leave John in the freaking jail and didn't care.
Yeah, I really don't get like the way he treats him. I really don't, because it sets up like the beginning that apparently like Arthur's like his like right hand dude basically.
Well, what happened was Hosea and Dutch adopted Arthur when he was like 14. So he was technically their son. And then they adopted John. And then those two and Dutch and Hosea formed the gang. So those four members were like the core members of the gang. And just to ignore and like completely disregard them just is so odd to me.
Yeah, what a shit bird. That yeah, I didn't really get that either. That was definitely me confused, and I think they kind of do establish that he's like going crazy though, or something, because he seems kind of crazy in Red Dead Redemption 1, and then when John there on top of the cliffs and Dutch is all like, "Wait, John, I got another plan," and John's just like, "You always," ends up just like jumping off the cliff and committing suicide.
Yeah, that ending was so anticlimactic. Oh god.
It really was. I was definitely kind of disappointed too.
Wait, John, I have another plan. I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, right.
I just
maybe he's got like bliss or something. He's just going crazy.
well, I think unfortunately I think a large reason why Red Dead 2 is written the way it is because they had to justify the actions of Red Dead 1. So they had to write Dutch as some character who was kind of nice and okay at the beginning, but over time slowly went like a bit nuts. Yeah. That way they could justify how they find Dutch in the first game.
Yeah, and then they had Bill and Javier were the other two.
Yeah, I never really understood that whole
They said
thing.
Javier, like, he's actually kind of decent.
He was. So I don't really get why he decided to go with them. Just seems weird to me.
I think somebody points out, like on a thing I saw, when like they're near the end when they're pointing all the guns at each other. I think Javier's not pointing his at them at first or something, or he hesitates to do so or something, and they make it seem like, from what I remember the second game, yeah, he's decent, but I don't know. I mean, obviously he goes off on his own when he's in Mexico or whatever, and which I find a little ridiculous that, John's hunting down the last few members of his gang in the first game, and he crosses the border over into Mexico to get Javier.
Yeah. I feel like Bill and Javier's side missions or whatever were just like very, very hastily written. It's almost like they forgot about them, so they just had to like quickly write something in.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, that's right. We gotta add them or tie them in or something too, guys.
Yeah, it was always weird to me that they weren't with Dutch because they were with Dutch at the end. So I don't know why. It's just weird to me. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really get to see more of what happens after the end of 2, and then I don't remember how much later number 1 is. It's the second game is in 1899, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then the second, oh yeah, wow, not the second. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 1 is in like 1911 or something. So, okay, wow, yeah,
It's either
been a small chunk.
1911 or it's 1900 something.
Maybe that's it. Maybe, yeah, I was saying 19 when they do the 3-year time skip, I was saying 1914, but maybe the 3-year time skip's 1911.
Okay, no. So Red Dead Redemption is 1911.
Wow.
Red Dead 2 is 1899. So yeah, you were right.
Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, 12 years, damn, I guess a lot could have happened, but it's weird to have it's weird when you play the first game too, because they make it, when John talks about his gang leaving him for dead, they make it sound like a recent thing, like it happened right before the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just the writing.
Like they make it sound like it just happened before you started playing the game, like, oh yeah, my old gang left me for dead. And it's like, then you find out after playing the second game, it was like, dude, that was like 12 years ago, man. What the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird that in 12 years they couldn't begin a life.
yeah, yeah, it's weird to see that apparently no one ever did anything with any of their lives. I guess they were all still just criminals and all that time or something.
Well, because at the
Dutch,
beginning of the first one, that's when they show John and the agents getting off the train, right? In Saint Denis.
yeah, and they basically are holding your family hostage and making you
Yeah.
kill or
So,
round
yeah,
up
why
your.
did they wait so long? Yeah. That
I
doesn't
don't
make
know
any
either.
sense.
It might just be a little bit of sloppy writing. Yeah.
Don't don't those agents come to see you on your ranch at the end of the second game though? Or is that just the first?
I don't know about the second, but I know in the first, yeah, they drop your family off and they're like, all right, thank you for, doing this and that, da da da. And then you have a handful of missions where you're just doing ranch lifestyle stuff. And
Yeah.
then they randomly just show up to kill you like a couple weeks later or something. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it almost kind of seems like they just had to write something in.
Why didn't they show up to randomly kill like Dutch in all that time or
Well, they probably couldn't find
Bill?
him.
Yeah, it just seems like you find them pretty quick and easy though.
Well, that was only with the help of Sadie, though. Don't forget, in the second towards the end, Sadie Adler turns into a bounty hunter. So she had been. She says that she had been tracking one of them for a while. That's how she
Yeah,
found them.
I think that was Bill, I think.
I don't remember. Yeah.
In the beginning of the first game, you go to confront Bill and he ends up shooting you and then you survive. And then
Yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
you do a bunch of tutorial stuff while you're healing and recovering and then yeah, you go eventually take down Bill.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
The government and all their dudes and all those years didn't. I think that's weird too because they kind of did what they did in the first game. Basically, the second and the first game do the same thing. In the first game, they're all like, "Well, the Wild West is dying. The Pinkertons are tired of outlaws. We're taking care of them." And that's kind of what they were doing also in the second game 12 years prior. Like,
Yeah, that kind of shows that maybe they're not as good at their job as they claim to be.
it pisses me off because you go in there alone, you find Dutch, you fight through all his dudes, and then he kills himself. And you're telling me those agents and all their soldiers couldn't just do that themselves? And then suddenly at the end, you're not a badass anymore and you get killed by all of them. I killed 1,000 people here before the end of the game, but nope, I can't kill any here. I just get gunned down.
I think that it's more because they were probably hoping that you guys would just take each other out. Yeah.
It just pisses me off.
And
they make you do the dirt.
When you don't, they have to have justification to come back after you. But what's really weird is that they showed up to your ranch with like an army of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always thought that was really annoying.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Yeah. They kill Uncle and everything.
I think the only one on the ranch aside from Abby and Jack that managed to escape was Charles, wasn't it?
I don't really remember.
Because I think he goes up to Canada.
Yeah, from what I remember in the second game, in the first game, it's just you, Uncle, Jack, and Abigail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the second one, that's when you find and recruit Charles, and then he leaves like towards the end of the first one before you go up and face Micah and Dutch. Yeah. He says he's going up into Canada. That's another thing. Why didn't the gang just go to Canada?
There's a lot they could have done. Where even are they actually at the beginning again? It's all snowy and icy. They're up on like a mountain.
Yeah, it's called like the Grizzlies or something. Yeah.
And they're up there because they were running from after the botched job in Blackwater or something.
Yeah, I don't know why they went north. I don't know why they wouldn't go east, because they end up going east anyway. So they really put more wear on themselves by going into the snow than just going east where there's no snow.
I got a plan, guys. Let's hang around where we're wanted.
Yeah.
Can we just kind of pack up camp and move, maybe a state over where we're okay?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of the decisions that game has. But I think that is about it for us today. I think this was a pretty productive episode. We have touched on a lot more of the criticisms of the game than I had anticipated, but they're all fair questions, I think. As far as the question of what was Dutch's plan, I don't think he had one. I think he was just hoping that maybe all of the rest of the gang would die and he could just be alone with his money. That's my guess. That's my theory on it, but let us know in the comments what you think. What was Dutch's master plan? Was he really going to take the gang to Tahiti and sip Mai Tais or whatever the hell they were going to do? I don't even know what they were going to do when they got to wherever it is they were going. But
they just became criminals again, probably.
Yeah, don't you worry though, guys. Dutch has a plan. It's all going to work out. We just need you to donate. We just need you to donate to the camp fund, okay? Just keep donating. Don't worry about anyone else. It'll be fine. But with that being said, we appreciate you guys tuning into this week's episode number 1 of season 2. If you liked it, I would kindly ask that you leave a rating on whatever platform you're listening on. You leave a comment as well if you can. And don't forget to catch the video version over on the YouTube channel now. We are going to start uploading these with relevant video game playthroughs. So if that's something that's interesting to you, head over to youtube.com/pixelsandparanoia and catch us over there same time as well. Until next time, guys, hope you have enjoyed. See ya.